Hi everyone, I'm Sivasubramanian and I'm pursuing my third year BBL LLB Honours at VIT School of Law, Chennai. Today, I would like to discuss on the modern selection methods. Before I come to my topic, I would like to briefly state what is selection and what are some of the traditional selection policies followed by companies. In simple terms, selection can be defined as the process of picking the right person for the right job. It involves picking individuals with requisite qualifications and competencies to fill in job vacancies in the organization. The major objective of every selection procedure is to determine whether a person has the requisite knowledge, abilities and skills to do a job and whether he would fit into the organization culture. There have been many definitions given by famous management jurists and professors regarding the selection process. I would like to quote Professor Thomas Stone, who defined selection as the process of differentiating between applicants in order to identify and hire those with a greater likelihood of success in a job. There are many factors which govern the selection procedure. The factors can be broadly classified into internal and external factors. The internal factors which govern the selection procedure are the company's policies regarding its organizational objectives, the human resource planning, and the cost of hiring. The external factors that affect the selection procedure are the demand of specific skills in the labor market, the legal and political considerations, unemployment rate, the labor market conditions, and the company's image. The traditional selection policy starts with the recruitment process. After the recruitment procedure has been done and the applications have been submitted, the next step is to scrutinize applicants. In the scrutinization of applications, the major consideration is given to the educational qualification. After this, the interview has to be conducted, whereby the behavioral aspect and the ability of a person is tested. Interviews can be classified into many: the systematic depth interview, the stress interview, the pattern interview, or the plan interview. Tests can also be conducted in order to see whether a person is fit for the job. Tests can also be classified into many: proficiency test, ability test, simulation exercise, etc. A company can choose between interviews and tests in order to do its selection policy. After this, the next step is to do the reference check. Once the reference check is done, the next step is to do the physical medical examination, whereby the person has to submit a medical certificate stating that he doesn't have any disease and that he is fit for the job. After this has been done, the selection decision is taken, whereby the person who fulfills all the above conditions will be appointed and the job offer will be sent to him. After this, the person who is appointed should sign the contract of employment. Once this is done, then the company has to inform those persons who are not selected, stating that they didn't qualify because they didn't fit into the organization culture and not because they didn't have the necessary skills. Finally, the selection process has to be evaluated, whereby the new employee is monitored and checked whether he is fit for the job and whether he is performing well. There are many problems with the existing traditional methods of selection. One major aspect is that it is a very time-consuming process and thereby a very expensive process. One other aspect is that interview procedures may not reveal the ability of a person. Since interviews mainly focus on the behavioral aspect, it may not fully take the ability of the person into consideration. Also, it does not focus much on the creativity of the candidate. A person may not be well behaved, but he may be very creative, and companies should look for creativity rather than focusing on behavior. Employee behavior may not be fully revealed through an interview process or a test process because an employee comes prepared for an interview or a test. A person's ability to cope up with management change may not be tested through traditional methods. For example, if a management is under crisis and the new employee is not able to cope up with the change, then he is not fit for the job. Since the traditional aspects does not take that into consideration, it is a huge disadvantage to the selection process. And there comes the problem of nepotism or favoritism, whereby people with political, legal and personal relations with the company have an edge over getting the job over the other prospective candidates. Realizing this, companies started to introduce modern methods of conducting the selection procedure. Some modern methods which are being followed are contests, whereby reality shows are conducted and the winners would be taken for jobs. Games whereby virtual game is played by the candidates and the virtual game would reflect the actual work, and if he is successful in winning the game or if he is successful in managing the game well, then he is taken into the job. Role playing whereby the particular person has to enact a particular role and decide on a particular issue that the management has given him. Describe yourself in 100 words. This is one other selection procedure that are being followed by companies. The modern methods of selection procedure, whereby a person is asked to describe himself in 100 words or less. And if he is found that he is describing well, then he would proceed to the next step of the selection procedure. Video presentations are some other modern methods that are being followed. Now, I would like to show some companies which are all actually involving in the modern methods of selection. Coming to Google. Google states that all its prospective candidates are Googlers. In simple terms, Googlers are those persons who are creative, intellectual and have innovative ideas. In order to see whether a Googler is fit for Google, an interview procedure is conducted. The interview procedure can be classified into four. Initially, the leadership skills is taken into consideration. And after that, the role-related knowledge, whereby the new prospective candidate is given a role and he is asked to enact it. The third and major important aspect of the interview procedure is how you think, whereby the applicants are tested based on their innovative, creative and intellectual ideas. Google states that it doesn't focus on technical skills, experience or technical knowledge that a particular person has in order to appoint him into Google. They want to see how innovative you are. What can you contribute new to Google? How would Google benefit with you? After this, the fourth and major important aspect in the interview procedure is the Googliness, whereby a person is asked to do a particular task within a specific time. For example, a hackathon, whereby a candidate is asked to hack a particular website within a stipulated point of time. The decisions for the interviews is taken by two aspects. First, the interview committees. The interview committees who assess the interviews, the decisions of these people are taken into consideration. The committee involves themselves and conducts formal interviews, informal interviews and engage in casual talks with the prospective candidates. After this, after the decision from the interview committee has been taken, the next step is to get the feedback from the Googlers. Googlers are existing persons who are already working in the company. These Googlers involve themselves in informal and casual talks with the prospective candidates to see whether they would fit into the organization culture and whether they would fit into the job. Once the feedback is given by Googlers, the selection decision is made. Coming to MasterCard, it initially used a traditional selection procedure in order to recruit people. It soon found out that the recruitment was not proper and that there were many faults with the new employees. So, it modified its selection procedure. Soon, it started to follow the interns wanted campaign, whereby people are asked to prepare creative submissions. Creative submissions would involve videos, blog posts, designs or any posts in order to promote a particular product of MasterCard or promote the vision of MasterCard. The best submissions or the best videos would be taken into consideration and they would be appointed as interns. If they perform well as interns, they would be taken to the job. Coming to US Air Force, US Air Force has followed a modern method of selecting people, which has followed one of the mostly used selection procedure in the modern world, the gaming policy. They followed the get them to game their way in procedure, whereby candidates are asked to play a particular military game where they can choose their emblem, squadron and team members and they have to perform military operations. Here, they are tested based on their attacking strategies, their defense strategies and their overall defense plans. With this selection procedure, both the US Air Force and the candidates benefit. US Air Force benefit from getting highly intelligent people who can frame good defense strategies and can frame good attacking strategies. Candidates can learn more about the Air Force and how it works. So it's a beneficial system for both. Coming to Marriott. Marriott has also been following the gaming policy in order to recruit people. Under the My Marriott Hotel game, candidates are asked to play the particular game and manage the objectives there. And it is stated that the company has been able to successfully recruit candidates for many posts through the game. Coming to Volkswagen. Volkswagen has followed one of the most innovative methods in their selection procedure. They realized that their existing mechanics were not performing well. So, in order to bring in talented mechanics, they introduced the hidden act method. Under this policy, damaged Volkswagen cars were dropped off at repair shops with a job offer under the car. And after the repair was done, they are basically tested on how the repair is done and how the condition of the car is. And after this, the recruiters have an informal interview with the particular mechanics to see whether a particular person can be taken to the job. Coming to Gyro International. It is a reputed international ad agency. Initially, it used to perform well and its ads were recognized worldwide. Soon, the creative committee started performing badly, due to which it ended up in losses. In order to improve its creative team, they studied the competitors' employees well and researched where the employees of the competitors had refreshments most. They convinced the particular restaurant owners to replace the normal sandwich bags with gyro sandwich bags. The gyro sandwich bags would contain pictorial representations stating messages such as "Should I stay? Should I go? Where is my career going?" etc. Soon, these gyro bags started spreading around the restaurants and people started to notice this. The employees of the competitors started to notice this. Within a month, the web traffic of the company increased by 20% and the company made 3 new hires from the competitors' company. Coming to MGM Hotel, it introduced a concept, Iron Chef, whereby the winners of the particular reality show would be provided jobs. It was stated that a 23-year-old person who was working as a server in a cafeteria won the particular Iron Chef and he was appointed into the Chinese branch, and the Chinese branch went into great success that year and made a high profit. The contest brought in many new chefs and the sales of the company increased by around 400% by conducting the new Iron Chef program. Comparing the modern methods with those of the traditional methods, we can see that the modern methods are less costly and less time consuming. The modern methods of recruitment and selection have also been very successful in bringing in new talent for the company, thereby increasing the productivity of the company. The problem of nepotism or favoritism was also ruled out because people were hired based on their creativity and ability to do their work. Through the modern methods, the quality, ability and behavior of employees could be easily identified than through traditional methods. Also, it was very successful in recognizing talent of many unemployed youth, especially in developing countries like India. To conclude, I basically state that modern methods are more reliable than the traditional aspects of selection policy. The traditional aspects of selection policy have increased the unemployment rate, which has been decreased by the modern selection procedure, whereby creative people are taken to jobs and thereby it has decreased the unemployment rate. Now, today we can see that the company is using a mix of traditional methods and modern methods in order to select people, so that all the aspects of a particular person can be taken into consideration. Thank you.